on the set in 3, 2, 1, going live.
All right. Hey, HB, this is Mel Craig.
And I'm Don Ramsey.
And welcome to another episode of HB Unplugged. Yeah, man, we're rocking and rolling.
It's been a while.
I know, got a lot of cool things happening here. And
yeah.
Look at what's just happened, huh? You know, the U.S. Open. Wait, let's really hit the U.S. Open with waves.
Oh, the surf was insane.
They say some of the best surf it's ever had.
Surfing Walk of Fame, Surfers Hall of Fame.
Oh, my gosh. The opening of the... You know, took about almost, I think the first time I heard about the move for the Surfing Museum was about 3 years ago. PT shared it with me.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Yeah. The plan was about 2 or 3 years ago. Tony Strickland, actually, it was one of his ideas, and he got PT involved, obviously, and it kind of moved slowly, but it did happen, and I was part of the process myself, helped move all the stuff.
Yeah, so if any of you have not been to the International Surf Museum since it's moved to the Main Street Library, downtown Huntington Beach, go check it out. My God, it's awesome.
We're right off of 6th and the Main. The address is 525 Main, and it's happening.
Some of the boards they were able to bring in that they weren't able to bring in the other one because the ceiling height was the challenge. And then now, I mean, it's just, and the layout right now, it's incredible. You got to go.
Our new exhibit is the 50 years of the WSL
and 50 years of PT
winning. And PT winning the first men's world champion.
He's not letting anybody not hear. My name is at the top of that list.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it's happening.
Well, we have a great guest today. I'm excited, especially, you know, my hot button, as you know, Don, I train.
Yes.
And I teach a lot of people all over the world. So, you know, to have Laura come in here and share her experience with us is going to be fun. So, Don, why don't you make the introduction and I'll bring in the crowd.
So, I met Laura. Her name's Laura Costelloe.
All right, let's welcome her in. There you go. Let's bring her in. Yeah. All right, Laura.
I met her at Read Across America about 3 years ago.
Yes.
And I was asked to come and help out with that, and it was like surprisingly unreal, actually. I mean, I couldn't believe how cool it was.
Thank you.
And then...
did you go somewhere for it?
Yeah, we do it
at their facility.
Yeah. Well, we'll let her explain that. I'm just trying to let
30,000 square feet.
How I met her, and then I got really absorbed by the whole experience. And then, unfortunately, last year I was asked to come back, and I actually forgot about it because I was so busy at work and it didn't work out. But I'm hoping if you do it again, you do ask me to participate.
And bring me in, I'll participate, and I'll make sure he shows up.
So take it away, Laura.
So I don't know where to start.
Well, here, let me preface it. So really, the show is all about HB community and who's in it. That's really what it's about. Who has an influence. You know, who's rocking the community, who's doing the things who are the makers and shakers type thing is what we're all about. And I mean, when you think about, you know, the people we just got talking about, our friends and stuff, how connected you are, how connected you can be. So just kind of tie that into the Huntington Beach as you start off here and just kind of bring it all together.
So I graduated from Edison.
Cool.
In 94. So, and I love the city.
Pull the mic towards you more. There you
go. So I love the city, and really wanted to. I, moved to a couple different cities and got married. Moved to South County, and didn't really like it down there.
San Clemente area.
I was in like Laguna Niguel. And I remember my daughter. I have a 21-year-old and then a almost 17-year-old son. My daughter had started kindergarten at a school down there, and everyone wrote a check at the beginning of the school year, just to kind of cover events and things, and supplies. But there was no community.
Like all the moms and dads would help supply the school.
Yes, but they just wrote a check. You know what I mean? This is the dollar amount we need, and you just write a check. So there wasn't any like fundraisers. There wasn't any events. There was nothing. And I remember it was hard to like make friends, and I just wasn't very happy. And I just remember like the best place I had ever lived was Huntington. Wanted to raise my kids here.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So we moved back. I really wanted my kids to go to Peterson Elementary. I kind of done my mom research, and so I we moved close to that school to be in the district. And at the time my son was like 18 months old. My daughter was going into first grade. And so I wanted just to kind of start volunteering and getting involved. And by the time my youngest was in TK over at Perry, it freed me up to just get in the classroom, And then I realized I have no shame when it comes to asking for money for kids. So I learned that
That's what, you got to be aggressive. You got to be assertive.
Yeah, so I have no shame at all.
So wait. This was at Peterson Elementary, correct?
So I got involved in the PTA, and I've been almost every single position. I think it was on the executive board there for about 10 years. So you were an
active mom, not an actual teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Active mom, just, raising funds, doing events, supporting educators. I think that they work really hard for our kids.
You think?
And so I got real involved that way. And then, we kind of started hearing some mumbling. There were some issues with, they might need to close a school. And we had a budget deficit. And back then we had a superintendent that had, been borrowing against our schools. And, we were kind of at a position where the county was maybe going to have to come in and take over. And so I started watching the school board meetings and just wanting to understand like the funding, how everything, I just like to know how things work. And for that reason, by the way, I love to watch meetings. I need a meeting for my meetings because I watch Planning Commission, Huntington City School District, OVSD, our city council meetings. Sometimes I'm watching like Orange County Board of Education. I like meetings.
Wow.
I just finished
on Monday, Casey.
We got to write this down.
On Monday, Casey mentioned my name in the meeting for the Silver Surfer.
You guys get mentioned all the time. I know because I watch them all. I started getting involved and trying to understand things. I have an advocacy page for the school district called Protecting Our Surf City Students.
Huntington Beach School District.
Huntington Beach School District. Trying to understand like how did we get here? Like what decisions were made, or wrong decisions. So long and short, we fought really hard. They tried to close Peterson.
Wow.
Yeah, they tried to close.
In what year did they try and
So it started in like 2018. Mm-hmm. And then, the pandemic, it was kind of still going through the pandemic, which was the unfortunate part because we couldn't attend meetings in person.
Yeah.
And everything was on Zoom. And it was Peterson, Eder, or Perry were the three schools up for closure because we hadn't been modernized. And Peterson is the largest public elementary school in Huntington Beach. It sits on 15.83 acres.
Wow.
So it wasn't any surprise that they were coming for it, I felt like, because they had sold Geisler, the old Brethren Christian site.
I remember Geisler.
And it had appraised for $19 million. They opened the auction at $17 million, and Brookfield, the developer, bought it for $43 million.
Wow.
And then said...
It bid up.
And then they said, hey, if you can close escrow in like a certain amount of time, we'll take $3 million off. So they got $39 million for that school. And our superintendent had been borrowing against the school sites. We were like $17 million in debt. And then
this is after they sold the property at Geisler?
Yeah. So...
What a trip.
Yeah.
So, and they still needed to modernize Sowers, but there wasn't enough money to modernize it. So the money out of Geisler went towards that. And so, yeah, we fought really hard to, a group of moms, because moms can be really thug.
A mob of moms.
A mob of...
Don, a
That's
mob
a good name
of moms.
for a band.
Yeah, a mob of moms.
Mob.
A mob of
Or how
moms.
about Mom Mob?
We have cattle and stuff here in this country, and we call them.
That's a Netflix show that it happens. Like I think it's in its third year. Actually, no, but it sounds like it.
Yeah.
You know how in this country, cattle and cows, they have herds.
Yeah.
Herds. In Australia, they're called mobs. So it's like if it's a herd of kangaroo, which you like see hundreds of them in a field.
Yeah.
They're called mobs. That's what they're called, mobs.
Yeah.
So mobs of moms.
So
Dangerous.
we packed the boardroom. I think at one point the fire department had to come, and
Wow.
kids were, going up in front of the school board crying like, "Please don't close my school." And it was a really, really hard time. It was difficult. We didn't want any of the schools to close. We tried to come up with all sorts of, good ideas and alternatives. In the end, it was Perry that closed. And I was PTA president at the time, and so I really wanted to kind of welcome those kids in. But, and then March, so I was PTA president, I think my second year, March 13th, 2020 is when they sent everybody home and closed the schools. And wow, that was rough.
How did they diversify the students? How did they put them in? Is that too long of a question to answer?
So
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, so what they did was they
Overloaded the other schools.
Well, so they sent some to Smith, some to Seacliff. They had to draw new boundaries, which was also at the same time where we were making trustee areas. We were threatened. The school district was threatened in lawsuit if we didn't become trustee areas. It's kind of like you need to have the people that you live around, have somebody within your boundary that would represent you. Yeah. Oh, and wow. So we had drawn trustee areas, and then we kind of divided up the students. We actually changed our school logo for the Perry students. We have a dolphin. We're the Peterson Dolphins, and it has a surfboard. And so we added the Perry Panther paw print to the surfboard.
Cool.
And then we bought all the students T-shirts, but it was a hard time. I mean, during the pandemic, closing the school, all the kids that left the schools on March 13th and went home, at the same time, we also kicked out all of our inter-district transfer kids. So if you don't live within the Huntington Beach City School District boundaries, you were booted. So we recruited all these kids in, and then we kicked them out because there's two types of funding formulas. You paid average daily attendance, so you're paid for each child to educate them 180 days, or you're paid property taxes. So we kicked the kids out, which dropped our numbers and then qualified us for basic aid. And so now the school district, we've got like a $20 million reserve. So when we switched funding formulas, it's when it really kind of pulled us out of a ditch financially. But it was a very traumatic time.
So now you're healthy.
So now we're healthy and now we're good. We have had a new superintendent that has made a lot better choices, for sure. So
good.
So the mob of
now
moms.
Is the new superintendent a woman or a male or female?
Female.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, because we got rid of, I used to call him Double G Greg. Yeah. So he's gone.
Okay, so now the negative's over.
Yep.
I'm gonna hang myself.
Yeah.
No, now let's get into the positive. Let's start rock and roll.
So the positive is, so I'm actually running for the school board.
You are really?
I am.
Yes. Very good.
I've been a parent advocate, I would say, over 10 years, and I just feel like now it's my time. I feel like I've paid my dues in, watching years of board meetings, and so I'm in like full campaign mode right now, which is hilarious because I'm not a politician and I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea.
I bet, but I look at it differently. I really look at it way different. In fact, what you just said and telling us the story, you've got so much experience opening and closing schools, shifting kids, redoing boundaries. You're probably the perfect candidate to be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do know what you need to know.
I really hope so. The person.
You got to think about people that come from outside.
Yeah.
They're like, they do this other job, but now they're going to come into something they're going to run for, they know nothing about. Mm-hmm. You have a big background in it already.
Well, I think, I think back then, I know back then, I always assumed that if somebody was in education that they knew more than I did, that they would make good decisions. Like I had so much faith in those people that they would be doing the right thing. I think always assumed that if somebody was elected to a position, so, if they're an incumbent, let's say, that other people voted them in. And so obviously they knew more than I did. And, and
You
so
thought.
I really thought. Now I realize.
Oh, wow, here it comes.
Now I realize I think it's super important to have a good balance. I think that it is good to have a couple educators on a board. I also think it's really important to have, private business owners or, moms, parents, whatever the situation, because you can't always be beholden to a teachers union, for example. Even though I love teachers, sometimes maybe it's not prudent, and I want to make good fiscal decisions. Would never want to be back where we were because that was traumatic.
So when does all this come about? Does it happen on November 5th, like the other votes that we're going for?
Yeah. So the only bummer.
Be everybody in your.
Yeah. So you can only vote for somebody in your trustee area. So there's 3 seats open. Dr. Paul Morrow is South HB. Paul. Yeah, so no one's running against him. So he's already got the seat. Mm-hmm. And then Megan Willis was the other seat that was open, and no one's running against her, so she has it. So I'm really the only person that's, running and campaigning, and
Who are you up against?
Well, but there's no one running against you, or is there?
There is. So the incumbent, Diana Marks, she actually asked me to run 3 years ago, and said, she's 73. She just wants to be retired. But then she decided that she's going to run against me. So, and I've heard she's being pressured by, I think, probably some of the teachers union, the bargainers. And it's unfortunate. Anybody that knows me, and a lot of the school district does, it's only ever about the kids. Sure. I only care about the kids. That's all.
Well, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this. I mean, we get read across America.
Yes, read across America.
So let me say this really quick. I know not many men read books. I've read a lot of books. I love the business world, so I love reading business books. I haven't got to the point where I was teaching where I say, okay, if a student comes to me and wants to learn business and stuff, I say, read 1 business book and 4 motivational books. Then go back to 1 business book and 4 motivation. And because what you want to be excited about the business world. So don't immerse yourself into so much business that it becomes so overwhelming that it discourages you. And you can only retain so much business information anyway. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to read a good business book, then follow it up with a fun book. And that's how I tried to get my students, to read. You're going into business for yourself. There's 2 things that come out of a good book. 2 very important factors that come out of a good book. 1, your vocabulary becomes great. The more you read, the better your vocabulary becomes. Number 2 is you're learning whatever that author has to teach you. Whatever that book is about is what you're learning about. So that's two really cool factors of why you want to pick up a book.
You're hired.
Yeah. It's really what it's all about.
Don,
and
we
so
need to
read
bring him.
across. This is exciting. So I want to know more about Read Across America because that's like my hot button.
Okay, so Read Across America is actually kind of a national movement. It's in celebration of Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
these are. Keep in mind, we're at an elementary school reading books to elementary kids.
This is cool.
Not teenagers or kids going into junior college.
Right.
These are just kids.
Yeah, cool.
Kids.
Yeah.
So 9 years ago, so when I was on the PTA Peterson, we had an idea to invite community leaders into the classroom in hopes that would inspire the students to read. The statistics are they show that if a child is not reading by grade level, like proficiently reading by grade level in third grade, that it dramatically drops the chances of them graduating high school.
It impacts them that hard.
Big time. There's
Wow.
also a very large correlation between those statistics and those same kids going to prison.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it's
could I chime in here a little bit?
Yeah.
So when I've done it, and you know, and we read out of a certain book, whatever the teacher like, give us a couple, 2 or 3 books we want to pick from, and we pick a part in the book and we start reading the book. After we're done reading, we ask the students, "Hey, do you have any questions about what it is?" And it's the questions that these kids ask that make it so much fun.
Oh, cool.
Because
Start
they
cracking
ask
up.
these random questions where you really got to think about, whoa, you know, and then think about what you read, or tell them a story about, you know, they want to know who you are. Why did you get picked to be here to read this to us?
Oh, yeah, that's
stuff
cool.
like that.
Yeah. So Deanna and I have done it now, you know, so many years. And in the very, very beginning, I had some help. One of my school sponsors, or my main school sponsor, is Matt Canuti. Mo Canuti's son. I don't know if you know Mo. Everybody, Mr.
Downtown.
Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
So Mo and Matt and even Michael Gates, Joe Carcio. I mean, there was several that kind of stepped in and you know, not only participated in the event, but I feel like they kind of legitimized it for a couple of moms
Sure.
that didn't know anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so they helped us, you know, get other readers there. And, you know, every year it's just grown. And so now, this past, we did it, it's normally around March 2nd, like end of February that we do it. But we have a formula that we use. So I invite the entire city council, the entire school board. I have a couple, I invite like Mary Barkey, president of Orange County Board of Education, Dr. Bean, which is cool because he's an author. We invite like the chief of police, fire department. We've got some dispatchers.
Yeah, we even had the helicopter land
And-
at one time.
So
Get Chris Hepning in there.
Chris has done it in years past.
Okay.
So we have like community library services and we, you know, our superintendent, and we have a bunch of like people that work within the school district, different positions. But so what's funny is I can get Casey pretty riled up. I can get him like, I'll say like, "Hey Casey, I have an idea," and he's like, "Yeah, let's raise the bar." Like so every. So,
He does get riled up.
he does. So like, so a couple years ago, I was like, "Casey, I seen this crazy like SWAT vehicle. It was like serving a warrant on Main Street. You know, this thing's like bulletproof. It looks
Yeah,
looks like an armored truck had a baby with a tank." And I was like, "Casey, I want the Bearcat." Like, and he's like, "Okay, yeah." And then Captain Bo calls me and he's like, "God, Laura, what are you doing again?" And I was like, "Well, it's not really, I had another idea, but it wasn't really my idea. It was Pat Burns that said like, hey, we should land the helicopter on the school." Like every year. So then I was like, "I want a fire truck," and then an ambulance, and then, "Hey, can Marine Safety bring a lifeguard truck?" And like,
Wow.
so then this past year, Casey's like, "Yeah, I got an idea." And I was like, "Oh yeah?" And he's like, "Well, you know, I'm trying to get it approved through Chief Para, but we were going to maybe bring that like robot thing that has hands and like serves warrants and blows doors open or
Oh,
something."
that'd be cool.
It's like, yeah.
God dang, that is, yeah.
It's like the SWAT robot.
That'd be cool.
And so, yeah. So every year, you know, we just kind of, "Hey, Casey, I got another idea." So we just have fun with it. We pair the kids up. They have a student ambassador that gets them around the school, you know, and we try and kind of do that based on personality. And we just, the goal is that we want these kids to, you know, look at you and go like, "Oh my gosh, I want to get into cars, and I want to, you know, teach students, or, you know, I want to be a fireman," or, you know, it
So
really.
everything that you've been talking about is to motivate the kids.
Yes.
And
to
I'm
read.
assuming before the third grade level.
Yeah, I mean, we do all the classrooms, so it's
Doesn't matter. All right.
It doesn't really matter.
It's all the way to fifth grade.
Fifth grade, right?
Yeah, so it's like
sixth grade's
middle school.
That's middle school. Yeah.
yeah. So this past year, though, the principal that we're friends with has left, and so I don't know if we'll continue to do it. Deanna and I sat down with the superintendent with an idea of maybe moving schools, doing a different school every year. So we'll just have to kind of see like if that's something that the principal would want. I know we've gotten some pushback especially this past year because some of the teachers don't like what they consider politics. And I don't know, I see it totally different. I mean, it doesn't matter which side. We don't play politics with kids. It's just
having a robot show up that can blow up houses and bombs isn't political.
Well, I mean, the other
It's
thing,
just cool for the kids to see.
The other thing I thought of was like, what if we brought in the mounted unit?
Oh yeah,
Like the horses.
that'd be cool.
Have Toby Archer come in. Yeah, riding a horse. That would be insane.
We've had Toby, but yeah. So every year, Matt Liffring covers it. Always makes like one of those really fantastic videos.
He's really good.
Matt Zabo normally comes in and covers it. This past year, I actually had him as a reader. Got him into the classroom to
Matt
read.
Zolo or Matt Liffring?
Matt Zabo.
Matt Zabo.
Yeah. And so it's just really fun. We come back and we do it every year. We don't even have kids in the district anymore, but it's just the impact that it has.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it's just something that's unique to Huntington Beach in that is the community here. You know what I mean? Like
So who started Reads Across America?
Read Across America. So it's just a national event, in celebration of Dr. Seuss, but we just
And it's all over the U.S.
Yeah, but we do it on steroids.
Oh, okay.
Well, we do it at Huntington Beach style.
Exactly.
We do it the right way.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Hey, so wait, ask her, can we switch subject right now and you talk about the welding program? That
Yeah.
you're part of?
Well, look, dude, I have it right here in front of me. So, and she wants to talk about this young man.
I want to talk about Cam.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead. We can switch.
And I texted him last night. I was like, can I talk about you? Can I share your story? So Cameron Roush, I love that kid so much. I'm so proud of him. So I work at a place called Urban Workshop in Costa Mesa, and we are an almost 30,000 square foot maker space. And when I say maker space, we've got auto lifts, wood shop, metal shop, blacksmithing. We've got CNCs, so you can learn CAD.
Wow.
We've got fiberglass. You can shape surfboards and
it's a trade school, correct?
So the makerspace part of it. So it's been there. We just had our 12th anniversary. It's a single owner. We're owned by an engineer who used to own an international Porsche racing team, and I don't know how it's evolved into this space that is incredible. And so more and more, so you can pay a membership there and you can go and you can work on this equipment and stuff. A lot of business owners, some of them are just hobbyists.
So you can take your car and go work on it.
Yeah. So we've got mechanics there, but then we've got people that they're restoring an old Chevy or, and so we have also a youth STEM program for 10 to 16-year-olds. We're basically teaching all the things that they took out of school. Wow. And which is the saddest thing ever because we have massive trade deficits now.
When I heard about that years and years ago, it happened years ago where, no more metal shop, no more wood shop.
Yeah.
Those are the only classes I wanted to attend.
Sure.
I didn't want to attend any of the classes. Those are the only ones I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah. Well, and it's, we've got a lot of kids that maybe don't do well in a classroom, I didn't do well in a classroom and never did well in school.
You know how important, when you say that, how important that is? Is because today so many kids are, on their devices.
Sure. Yeah.
And they're not using their hands. They're
Yeah.
not getting out there using their hands.
So we have an automotive course. It's the auto lift safety basics. You know, you bring in your car, you learn how to like run the lift and stuff. They take apart a 4-stroke engine. Another classes, they learn how to mount and balance tire. They learn preventative maintenance, you know, so things like that. The youth program is 10 to 16. So they start with learning hand tools, and then they learn power tools. And then, you know, we put them on heavy equipment. I mean, short of letting them play with fire, you know what I mean? Yeah. And
Yeah.
Hey, don't touch that. I mean, you can do everything else, but don't touch them.
well, and so,
Everything's short of fire. Flamethrower gun.
So about 3 years ago, we became an ATF. So it's an accredited test facility. We train and certify professional welders.
Wow.
And so I was home with my kids for 15 years, and I didn't graduate from college. I didn't finish, and so I wasn't really too sure, you know. It's like I can put PTA on a resume and stuff, but who wants to hire me? So I got a job working at the front desk, and I just started to fall in love with the welding program. And I'm somebody, I just kind of see patterns. And so last January, so January 25, I became the welding program advisor. But I started seeing some of these kids coming through, they're neurodivergent, you know, and their kids ADHD, or maybe they're on the spectrum with autism. And we assume these kids struggle with focus, and that's not true at all. They can hyperfocus. And so I started seeing these kids put the welding hood on and they're removing their peripheral vision, and they were hyperfocusing. And so these kids that didn't do well in the classroom, we were finding were like superstar welders. And so, and then of course I did what I normally do, which would be to go find funding. So go find money somewhere. So I partnered with a grant program, and they did a little over $500,000 last year with us. And so, you know, we've taken I work with a lot of at-risk, like 18 to 25, to get them trained and certified. Because if you go to OCC, or you go to Santa Ana or any of these local colleges,
So this grant money stuff pays for their education.
pays for their training.
Got it.
Yeah. So like if a student had an IEP, individual education plan in school, or 504, like I started learning what their qualifications were. So it was kind of a partnership between what I had learned as a parent advocate and watching education, as also, you know, I've got my own kiddo that I've kind of learned with services and an IEP. And so I just kind of started seeing some of these patterns, and then I found the funding, and the program has just exploded.
Wow.
I mean, it's you know, it's awesome. I work a lot too with like the OC Rescue Mission, the bridge shelters down the street in Costa Mesa, Ready Set OC. I mean, there's so many like different organizations that are working with, whether it's like reintroduction, and the welding industry as a whole is very forgiving. It really is. You could have a background. So one of my welders recently, OC Rescue Mission is.
Is that the one that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, so Cam. Yeah, we can talk about Cam. He just turned 18. So I have several local HB kids that have come into the program. So Cam's mom committed suicide in 2020 when he was at Sowers. I got a couple kids in the program. Parents committed suicide during the pandemic. So he really struggled at that time. And he kind of stopped going to school. You know, he was at Edison, and he just couldn't even get out of bed at that point, you know. And so he ended up at Valley Vista, which is the continuation school. And actually his aunt contacted me, and she said, you know, I said, my nephew's always ever wanted to be as a welder. And in fact, he had managed to, he used to fix up bikes and then he'd sell them. He likes to fix things and sell them. And he had bought himself his own welder. And his dad was terrified he'd burn the house down, so he wouldn't let him use it. But so he brought him in. I do what's called an evaluation. Anybody interested in the welding program can come in and weld for free. And we'll just throw gear on you, get in a booth, and you're like, do you like it? You know? And then a lot of times,
find out what they like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll sit down and kind of see, you know, there's different pathways, different processes, and I kind of try and counsel them, you know, so we can come up with a plan. And Cam wanted to become a fabricator. And so I got him into the grant program. They approved about $14,000 in training. And this kid has 8 certifications.
Really?
I mean,
As a what?
So he's got 8
8
certifications
certifications.
with the American Welding Society. Yeah, he's got
He'll be able to get a job anywhere.
Yeah, well, and I was like, I want to keep going. I was like, dude, let's do aerospace, like fusion welding, like let's go. So we're gonna have a meeting with his counselor and just kind of figure out, you know, what does that look like. We're also exploring unions, so I do a lot of union tours because I kind of, like I said, I want to understand how things work, you know, and see. I got one of my welders from OC Rescue Mission into the millwrights. They'd come in a couple weeks ago. Hey, we need 5 LA City welders. And so she's working on a big LAX job. But OC Rescue Mission's awesome. They're privately funded. JFK was there last week. I don't know if you guys saw it on the news, but
I know he was here in Southern California.
it's like a ready-to-work program, like 18 to 24 months. So you go and you live there. It's the old Army barracks in Tustin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so you can actually, like, you can be a family and live there. So, like, she has her 11-year-old son, but she's just focused. She's just one of those, you know, she changed her life around. She had in and out of jail, and she had doing drugs and stuff, and she got sober. And so, yeah, she's worked really hard to get back on her feet. So, yeah, I love my welding program. I love my welders. I really do. I was watching your guys' podcast with Nicole.
And Nicole and Tyler.
Yeah.
Live like Zach.
I want to connect with her.
Yes.
Yeah, you should.
Believe me, they are friends of ours. I can put you in touch with both of them.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you that before when we talked. You need to meet Tyler and Nicole because this is the perfect
Joint venture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always...
You'd be a very good match, yeah. You guys could support each other very well.
Yeah. When I have,
You
especially...
know they're all about the trades.
all about the trades. And for, you know, what's cool about the welding program is that there's no prerequisites. So you don't have to have a high school diploma or GED. So like I have one kiddo that just graduated from medicine with 8 certifications. And they actually, his mom, I don't know how she swung it, but it was considered his 5th period class at Edison. So he would get out at 12:30 and then he'd come to my shop and weld from 1 to 5. That's the other thing is you make your own schedule. We're not a school.
Oh, you got good at it.
So we don't run by semester. So you want to start tomorrow, you can. They make their own schedule. So I recommend they come in and train like 2 days a week. And then you get a free membership at the shops.
How frigging cool is that?
You got to come in and see it. It's such a neat place.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow.
Yeah, come in.
Can I?
Yeah, for sure. We won't have welding because we've got an inspector coming in, but yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to meet some of the kids and stuff.
And then on top of this, she's also running for the
School board.
school board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any free time.
Your life has come to an end.
Yeah, I'm busy. Well, and I have teenagers too, so like yeah.
Everyone wants Don to run for something.
I'm too busy to run.
He
for
can't run anymore. He's already running.
He's the
too
unofficial
But he hasn't
mayor.
stopped running since he hit the street in the morning. So anybody says, hey, you want to run for this? He goes, I'm already running.
No, I mean, I do a lot in this town. People have asked me, why don't I run for mayor? And I always tell them I wouldn't be able to do all the stuff that I do in this town if I was
the
on-
mayor.
Yeah, if I was city council.
And you're sort of already the mayor. Yeah,
Well, talk to the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem. They both call me Mr. HB. I'm just saying.
So when I called him,
He wants to be the legend.
yeah. So
She told me you want to be the legend. What's your title? The legend.
when I called him to do Read Across America, I said, okay, well, what is your title? Because it's really important you get people's titles right.
The
you know?
legend.
And he goes, HB Legend. I was like, oh man, I love that.
That actually is pretty cool. If anybody could wear that, he could.
Yeah, and I've got one photo of him from the event, and it's such a great photo. You know the one that I'm talking
I
about?
don't.
He's kind of like looking over his shoulder. I'll send it to you. But he's just got like this ear to ear grin. You can just tell he's in his space. Like,
And reading.
Well,
yeah. And the kids.
It's probably because one of the kids asked me a question that made me laugh so hard that I had to kind of hold the laugh because it was,
He's a great. Well, first off, he's a great dad, great husband, great dad, and he's got grandkids, so he's the perfect choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this one story. So my kids come home. My daughter comes into the office. Hey, Daddy. I go, yeah. She goes, you're reading a story at our school. And I go, oh. I go, I am. What book am I reading? She goes, no, I told them that you don't use books. Because every time I would tell the kids a bed story, I would fly by the seat of my pants. Mm-hmm. And they always wanted to know about the old Chinaman who lived on the hill above the ocean. And it was a whole story that I told. So she goes, Mel, or Dad, you got to do the Chinaman on the hill, please. Everyone. So I went and I was like, I don't know, it took about almost an hour to talk about the old Chinaman on the hill overlooking the surf. And it was really, and the parents applauded and stuff. It's just, I've kind of lost it. I've tried to do it a couple times. It's almost like rap. Mm-hmm. You know, you in order to be a rapper, you have to pre-think the lyrics. They have to come to you. They have to be in the back of your head coming forward, and you're acknowledging them to mix with the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And it's sort of when you tell a story, you have to have the story coming in the back of your head. It has to be, that story has to be developing so that as you're speaking in the front of the stories coming out, and you got characters especially, that has to blend together. Mm-hmm. It's like, and so it's like, you know, I used to be able to write songs on the guitar. I played guitar a lot. That's another thing I can't do now. Try to pick up a guitar, I can't play the damn guitar anymore. Anyway, but yeah, it was really cool to be able to tell those stories and have the families appreciate it so much, you know. And I thought, well, I don't know, it just felt normal to me. I just did it for the kids every night, you know. I'd tell them a story. And they usually got, you know how the kids are at that age, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6. Daddy, a little longer. Daddy, I'm not asleep yet, just a little more. What's he going to do when he gets over there? You know, okay, well, he did this, you know. You keep going with the story, so.
Those are the best, though. I remember my dad used to make up stories. Like sometimes he would read a book with us, but then like sometimes he would make up a story. And I don't think I could ever do that. I'm just not
Oh, yeah, I had to.
creative like that, you know, but those are the best.
Oh, I love the books.
Well, in your own way.
I love the books.
You're
Especially
pretty creative, believe me. Just coming up with how you've done what you've done over the time period that you've done it is, to me, insane. Because who puts it together in their mind that they want to be part of the PTA, then become PTA president, then start this whole thing with the trade school and kids and young adults needing to find some place where they can actually create, you know, some new hobby or something that they can do that looks down the road. This is going to be able to help me generate revenue.
Yeah.
And be able to take care of myself. I'm actually learning something.
And they actually want that type of training because it's a gazillion times faster than vocational school and a million times faster than, you know, normal education.
Yeah.
And that's the way, and they want that. They want to be able to pick it up and go, and then, you know, even get a part-time job doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Freaking cool, man.
Well, and it's our learning environment's really different. So our class sizes are 10 students or less to 2 instructors. Wow. So I see a lot of auditory processing disorders where, you know, you've got 30 students, like OCC's like 30 students in a classroom, and they're telling you what to do, but in welding specifically, you really need to show someone. Mm-hmm. So our instructors get into the booth with them. And
show
so
them exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, and so that's why we're able to do it so accelerated. So when I love to, you know, at some point get to where we can hire someone to do job placement or
that'd be
apprenticeships.
cool.
Yeah, we're applying right now for ETPL, which would open up YO funds, and so like Workforce Anaheim or Santa Ana, some of these places where if you're unemployed and you're needing additional training and certification, that's what those funds are.
Wow.
So yeah, and then like I work with like the Orangewood Foundation with some of these kids where they get out of foster care. Just because you turn 18 doesn't mean you're an adult. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if
If you haven't grown.
Stuff.
yeah.
I mean, you got to grow mentally.
Yeah. So I've had some students come through from there, and then I just met last week with, or earlier this week with the clinical director of UCI for like adult court. So same thing. It's like these, if they get a felony, they can get referred into this program, and they help them, kind of navigate this, get rid of the felony on their record, and then go into, say, like a training program like what we have. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just learning all of this. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of information, and it's taken time to kind of figure out how to navigate it. But yeah, I love it.
Well, you've been an amazing guest.
Thank you. I talk a lot too.
But she's
Well, that's
talented.
good. Yeah,
No.
you're very talented.
Hey,
you got
so
a lot to offer.
I'm going to send you Tyler's phone number.
Yeah.
Okay, from Live Like Zach. He can reach out to Nicole as well. And I'd like really, once I tell Tyler that you've been on the podcast, I know that they're going to watch the podcast and they're going to be super stoked to be able to talk to you about.
I mean, you guys are like dynamically glued together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
plus,
they're into the trades. You're into the trades. I mean, you're dynamically. I can see something cool.
well, and I
happening
want to
there.
help them raise money.
Tyler's a cool guy too.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Real tall.
Yeah.
You got to look way up to see him.
Yeah.
Nicole's the cute as a bug. Nice as can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very cool. Well, thanks for joining us on this show.
Thanks for having me.
If somebody wants to get in touch with you or find out more about what you do, like first off, reading around the world. Is there a website or something for that?
So for Read Across America, no. We send the invites. It's typically like end of February. So, and I hope the event continues. Something Deanna and I really, really want to continue.
I like the idea of going to different school every year. I mean, to me, that seems like
I do too.
So that you spread it around, and once the other, hey, we want you to come to us.
Yeah, it would seem like it would create more activity. And as far as the trade school, is there a website?
So urbanworkshop.net.
.net.
Yeah, and anybody that is
Alejandro's
interested.
going to post it up, so we'll see it up here.
Yeah, so anybody that's interested, come in, weld for free. Like Mel, you come in, I'll throw you in a booth.
Yeah.
Same with you, Don.
Yeah.
Whoa!
We'll get you.
Play guitar tonight.
Where I'm going to put gloves on you and all the fire retardant stuff.
I do
We
all
will
kinds
not
of
let
stuff.
you-
I do all kinds of stuff with my hands.
We will not let you light yourself on fire.
I just restored the Silver Surfer. I
you
had a
go.
lot of help.
Yeah.
I had a lot of good help.
Yeah. So, and then my campaign. I'm just kind of getting around doing events. Thank you.
Campaign, yes.
Go win it.
I bought a domain name and I'm kind of trying to figure out how to build a website, but it's Laura and then the number 4 hbcsdboard.com.
Okay, say that again.
So Laura, Laura, and then the number 4 hbcsdboard, board.com.
Okay, cool.
So
And any phone numbers you want to give out?
I mean,
you're talking to Huntington Beach. I mean, they're all look at them all.
So
They're all actually coming in from the water right now just to see this show.
I love it. Well, I mean, I've watched a bunch of these podcasts. It's a pretty big deal.
They're all gathering it right now. They're at Main Street at a restaurant. They go, hey, let's watch the show.
Yeah. Well, if anybody, my direct line at work, they can call me. It's 949-669-1037.
The only reason I push you on that is because people want to talk to you. They want to get a hold of you and talk to you.
And I like to talk.
Yeah, well, I noticed.
Yeah.
We're all
she's
good.
got a lot to say, though.
Well, no kidding.
this is
Yeah.
really-
And you got to meet Tyler. And Nicole, you got to.
So Nicole came in to my work about 6 months ago, left her info at the front desk. And I didn't know this Live Like Zach, but I'd seen it, and I didn't know their story. In fact, I texted Dawn and I said, is it going to make me cry?
Yeah.
And it kind of did make me cry. But I understand it after watching the podcast. And she had reached out to Urban Workshop through social media, and I had tried to reach back out. So this connection is, I feel like, kind of a long time coming.
John, Don, just make sure she has the number.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, just give her Tyler's number so you have it.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Mel Craig.
And I'm Don Ramsey.
And thanks for joining us for another episode of HB Unplugged. Hey, subscribe.
Yeah.
Don't forget, right there, look at the bottom of the screen right there. Now hit that button, subscribe. Good job. Thank you very much.
All right.